All right, I'm going to cover the techniques that were released at the beginning of April and go over them in a little bit more detail because there are some very subtle movements that are involved in the technique that need to be explained and get a little bit more of a close-up view of the techniques. This first technique started off as a cross wrist grab. So your opponent reaches across your body and grabs you on the opposing wrist. Now, something to keep in mind here, even when you're practicing this with a partner, is you don't want to offer your wrist to your partner and have the contact be out here. When you're in this position out here, your arm is weak. So if your partner or opponent reaches across and grabs your hand, they're extended out, you're in close to your body, so you've actually got better strength inside close to your body from this position. What took place in the video that you saw earlier was Grandmaster Grego brought this hand up in close to his body and turned his hand to the outside. What this does is it puts the opponent's wrist on a bend and the elbow on a bend, and it opens up the gap in the grip toward you. All right. Once you bring the hand up into this position here, pointing the fingers toward your opponent, you're going to pop the wrist with the palm of your hand and knock the hand away. Now, what you want to do to keep in mind here, and again, there's a lot of little intricacies here that will help you, you are actually putting this right hand into striking position. You're aligning it between your body and your opponent and putting it in a perfect position to be able to shoot out a very powerful punch. So from this technique here, I want to keep my hand in front of me. Now when the block takes place here, now my hand is in close and it can drive the punch just by stepping forward with my left foot. So it all kind of flows together. You want to keep the movement flowing and continuous. You don't want to pause and then make a strike or a move. You want to keep things moving. So the hand is going to come up, the other hand pops off, and we're going to step in and drive the vertical punch to the chin or to the face. The next technique, the second technique, was a straight shoulder grab. This is where your opponent steps up, grabs you on the collar, grabs you on the shoulder, and tries to punch you with the opposite hand. Now, a lot of times this hand, you may want to think about trying to get this hand off of you, but really that hand is tied up. Just like Grandmaster Grego said, is that leave that hand alone. Okay? He's only got one weapon now, which is going to be this hand, essentially, that he's going to be trying to attack you with. So what you want to do here is you want to bring your hands up in front. From this position here, I'm protecting my center, and it makes it very easy for me to block or to strike. Now, the follow-up technique that the attacker was doing was a grab on the shoulder and then a punch with this right arm. Once the hands are up in this position here, the block is going to come in across the elbow joint with the palm up. This is a palm up Kung Fu block. The elbow is dropped down, but the structure is firm because the elbow is dropping toward my center, so it's a strong block. Okay, I don't want to do this block with this elbow out here to the side. This will very easily come over the top. But if my elbow is toward my center line and I'm reaching out with the edge of my hand, it blocks very well. The other thing about this is it gives you good control over this opponent's arm to be able to trap or to keep that hand from coming over the top. Now, what Grandmaster Grego did is an excellent idea to stop somebody's forward momentum and their forward intention by using something called a stop hit. And he used a bilge or finger thrust strike, a little bit different than the way that we teach it, but it goes into the trachea, which is the hollow point just above the sternum, just at the bottom of the throat. So once the grab took place there and the block took place here, the stop strike was into the throat. And from there, he stepped in and reached around the back of the neck. What happens here is the person's forward intention is interrupted. They draw inward at the point of the throat strike, and they kind of fold up a little bit, strike into the throat. And again, this is a harder target, so you do want to have your fingers together here and jam your fingers right into the base of the throat, causing this type of a reaction. So from the grab, in the block, striking into the throat, causing that forward motion, causing the person to loosen up, grabbing around the back of the neck, drawing the knee up into the sternum or the solar plexus, and then the follow-up strike was, of course, the elbow strike coming down. So a little bit quicker would look like this. Okay?